Pardon me, I was just getting a quick drink. How are you doing? I don't think I've ever seen you around here before. What's your name? And thus begins a beautiful relationship. Since life has existed, the creatures that require it to live have been gathering around the watering hole to slake their thirst. Humans are no different. Water is not just a basic necessity, it is every person's right. Of course, Gatorade and great flavored Pedialyte notwithstanding, nothing will slake your thirst better than water. That's why here in just a moment, I'm going to introduce you guys to 10 of the best office water cooler fragrances that will capture and captivate. I've got that and more coming up, so don't go away. Welcome back everyone to today's video about 10 of the best office water cooler fragrances. What the heck does that mean? Well, if it's not self-explanatory, I'm talking about an actual physical, tangible water cooler that people can go up and get those little cups that look like tiny upside down white hats. Some of them have color on them too, and they get water, drink it, and go back to their desk with their thirst quenched. And oftentimes while you're there getting a drink, another one of your workmates is there, and so you'll strike up a very brief conversation and then go back to your respective cubicles or desks. But it doesn't have to be an actual physical water cooler. It's just representative of those brief casual moments where you capture someone's attention at the office. And these fragrances in particular are fantastic for that. And that's why I want to introduce you guys to them today. So let's go ahead and jump into this list. We've got 10 to go over. And so we're going to very briefly touch on what's great about them. Now you'll notice a lot of these fragrances have to do with water. They'll be aquatics, but most of them have something in them in particular that makes them perfect for this scenario. And in fact, it's usually going to be something like a mint or a fragrant note that is associated with mint. Rosemary in particular is great because not only is it part of the mint family, but it also has the added benefit of having facets of evergreen pine, which is a wonderful facet to stack on top of an already minty freshness. The first fantastic water cooler fragrance that will leave a lingering scent trail is actually from Bulgari. It is Bulgari Aqua Porom Marine, or just Aquamarine as most people know it. One thing you'll learn too about this video is that the best fragrances have variations of light and dark, and it's that contrast that keeps fragrances energetic and lingering. It keeps fragrances tenacious, and that's what I really like about Marine. It has this green facet in the form of Neptune grass and aquatics, and of course that rosemary minty freshness in the open. Fantastic fragrance, still available, still very inexpensive, even as many of the aqua fragrances are going away, the Bulgari aqua fragrances, and the presentation itself is a very cool conversation piece. Bulgari Aqua Porom Marine. The next excellent office water cooler fragrance is actually one from Hugo Boss in the Boss Bottled line. It is Boss Bottled Infinite. Now, this one in particular makes a great shower gel fresh fragrance simply because it's got that whole soapy, clean, but it also has kind of a modicum of uniqueness in its masculine vibe that I think a lot of people will appreciate right there at the water cooler, right there in that moment of brief conversation. Plus, it also carries that minty fresh rosemary note in the heart of it as well. Boss Bottled Infinite. Another Hugo Boss fragrance that I couldn't help but to include, even though it is a relatively new fragrance, it is available at a fantastic discount. I have linked that below if you want to check that out, really for any of these. It's Hugo Jeans. What a fantastic casual fragrance. What makes it such a great water cooler fragrance is that fresh peppermint that is effusive in the heart of this. Doesn't quite come out in the open. There's a little bit of a facet, a hint of that, a nuance of that, but then in the heart, that peppermint really comes to the foreground and just kind of burgeons. And that's what contributes, along with the other citric notes in there, with the sandalwood and the vetiver, to the longevity of the fragrance and makes it such a great water cooler scent. Hugo Jeans. Another fragrance that was born out of its association with water and makes a fantastic, actually sexy fragrance is one from Jean Paul Gaultier in the Le Male line. It is Le Male On Board. Le Male On Board is a very simplistic scent profile, but I love the fresh lavender in this fragrance. It is kind of in the place of the rosemary and mint that we've been talking about, and that's what makes it such a great water cooler moment. It gives a freshet of strong geranium and lavender, but it's not overpowering. It's just enough to keep those who smell you wanting more. Le Male On Board. Our next excellent office water cooler fragrance has actually proven itself, like many of these have, to be an effective conversation starter and conversation elongator, we'll say. Like, it keeps the person there in front of you because they want to keep experiencing the fragrance over and over. It is by Lacoste, believe it or not. It is the L1212 Blanc, which is white. So it's representative of everything that you like about fresh, clean t-shirts, linen, kind of citrus-oriented, great summer fragrance. Overall, a fantastic summer fragrance. But the bearing and the tonal quality of this fragrance is so amiable. There's really not anybody that won't like it. And specifically, if you're up there within 2 or 3 feet of each other at the water cooler or whatever is standing for the water cooler, they're going to really enjoy the scent bubble of this excellent, clean, fresh fragrance. Eau de Lacoste L1212 Blanc. Speaking of being around the bin and back again, this fragrance has seen early days of being an iconic fragrance. It's been reinvigorated now. I used to wear it when I was in high school. Now it's been refreshed, and I really love the new take on it. It is by Ralph Lauren. It is Polo Cologne Intense. Polo Cologne Intense has pretty much everything that you want in a water cooler fresh fragrance. Now, this isn't an aquatic, but it does contain so many spicy facets, including a really fresh spearmint note that keeps this lively. It implements a fresh kind of new energy into the whole formula and into the scent that anyone who smells it on you is definitely going to be thinking, what is that they're wearing? And I want to know more about this. Possibly, I want to know more about them. That's the whole purpose of that captivate and capture. We want to capture their imagination. You want to captivate their senses, whether it's the sense of smell or they're wondering about us, wanting to know more about us. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about hitting on someone at the office. You got to do things the right way, where it's appropriate, when it's appropriate, but there's nothing wrong with captivating someone's sense, specifically their sense of smell, when you're at work. Polo Cologne Intense also has the note of time, so you could literally say, you've got time on your hands. No, don't say that. This next fragrance that I'm going to introduce to you guys, I've actually talked bad about. I've actually talked down about. But I am one of those people that will always try something. Even if I didn't like it, I'll try it. If other people back it up and say they've had good experiences, I'll keep trying it to see if I need to refresh or rebrand my way of thinking. And I actually stand behind this fragrance as a really good water cooler fragrance. In fact, I feel like that's specifically what it is meant to be, a fantastic office water cooler fragrance. And that is by Hermes H24. Sounds like H2O, sounds like it was made for water, but it does have that whole aroma chemical called sclarine that mimics the smell of like heat, steam, iron, all of that. But there's kind of an orangey overall tonal quality about this. I absolutely really enjoy the open of this. And let me tell you, anyone who smells this on you is gonna love that open as well. Now, it doesn't have that whole mint like rosemary, spearmint, or peppermint or anything like that. It's not what you would call spicy, but it is a laundry fresh, very subtle but very strong fragrance, at least in the open, and it does linger throughout your day as well. It has really good longevity. It's going to create a really amicable scent bubble that no one is going to have a problem with, and everyone will enjoy. H24 by Hermes. This next fantastic office water cooler fragrance is a bit obvious, kind of on the nose, but so what? If it's good, it's good. If it works, it works. It is Chrome Aqua. Yes, it is an aquatic. It's written into the name. It is a water cooler. It is a water-based fragrance, perfect for the water cooler though, because it's so subtle. Now again, like most fragrances, this contains variations of light and dark that keep it energetic, and that's what makes it so uniquely perfect for that office water cooler moment. Very inexpensive as well, just like all of these. Like literally all of these fragrances that we're talking about today, you're not going to break a Benjamin over. And in fact, most of them are under 90 bucks. There may be one that's like 88, the Lamal on board. The rest of them are well under that. So that's the good news. You're not going to pay a ton of money for any of these, and any single one of them is going to be a great choice, in particular, Chrome Aqua. One thing that makes this next fragrance such a fantastic office water cooler fragrance is because it's relatively new. Like, it's not one of those that everyone is wearing right now. And so it could even be your signature scent specifically for summertime. It's by Jimmy Choo. It is Jimmy Choo Man Aqua. Now, I talked about Abercrombie & Fitch Away, how I like it just a bit better than this. But one thing that sets this apart has that whole Jimmy Choo vibe. So Jimmy Choo's got a pretty good record when it comes to men's fragrance, and this continues that DNA on the aquatic side. So she or he will definitely appreciate smelling this on you in that water cooler moment. Jimmy Choo Man Aqua. Last of our excellent office water cooler fragrances is from Diesel. Now, Diesel makes some really unique fragrances, and not only just the presentation, which is a fist. Whoosh. This one in particular, I really enjoy, which is why I got the big fist instead of the 50 ml size. And it is Only the Brave High. This one is a fantastic, very citrus, very blue, very fresh fragrance that is perfect. In fact, it almost looks like one of those water bottles that you use in the water cooler. You've got amber, ginger, geranium, woody notes. Again, light and dark facets, something called Arctical that keeps this very fresh. It's like a captive water molecule. And then, of course, that peppermint infused formula just keeps it fresh, keeps it going, keeps it perfect for the water cooler. Only the Brave High by Diesel. Well, guys, I really have enjoyed sharing all of my favorite office water cooler fragrances. I've had really good experiences with all of these. If you have any personal experience with any of these, let me know what that is. Share it with everyone in the comments below. And if there are other fantastic water cooler fragrances that I left off this list that I missed out on talking about, let us know what those are as well. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by and checking out today's video. As always, thank you so much for your continued support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video review.